this, why should you be concerned? If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. And we're going to talk about the risks that young drivers have. And if you don't learn to recognize these risks as you get older, 25, 30, 35, and up, you could end up being a victim and a fatality. Let's go ahead and get it. Risk is defined as death, injury, or loss of life. Every time you get into the car, you are having the potential to potentially cause a fatality to yourself or others. Approximately 1 in 11 16-year-olds drivers have a chance to have a serious crash before their 17th birthday. How does the community teach these people? What do I do as a driver's ed instructor to help them overcome these challenges and help them grow into really good drivers? It takes about 10 years, TEN, through learning how to drive, through driving through bad weather, snow, rain, fog, sleet, when you're tired, heavy traffic in a downtown area, in a suburban area, in a rural area. All of these experiences and all of these environments will help you as a driver learn how to deal with these things. Approximately 1 in 8 16-year-olds will be involved in a crash prior to the first 3 years of driving. What does this mean for me as an instructor? You as a guardian, you as a parent, you need to get out there with them, help them understand in rush hour, help them understand driving in the rain, help them understand driving in the snow, help them understand driving in a different location that they're not used to. For 16 and 17-year-olds, the risk of crash involvement is at a lifetime high. For the first 6 months, these are new drivers who don't have a lot of experience. Physically, they can drive fine. They have great reflexes. They're young, they're flexible, but over time, they don't have the experience to increase their following distance, to not tailgate, to not road rage, to not be in the left lane, which is the passing lane or the fast lane, holding up traffic. Then drivers get lit and they explode because they see a slow driver who shouldn't be in the left lane, who should be in the middle lane. It's my job. It's your job. It's the community's job to teach these young people the dangers and the risk. Research confirms errors and inexperience rather than high speeds. Accidents account for the largest numbers of young drivers. Mom and dad, older sister and brother, your younger siblings don't have the experience. They need to be taught. They need to be shown how to drive. The largest single category of errors are visual search, VISUAL, search, SEARCH. Simply, they're not looking left, they're not looking right, they're not checking their rear mirror, they're not checking the side mirror to the left, they're not checking the side mirror to the right. I drove first-time drivers less than 24 hours ago. They simply just look straight ahead. They have tunnel vision. They don't see traffic to the left. This is my left hand. They don't see traffic to the right. This is my right hand. They focus just on the car. They don't see the big picture. BIG, picture, PICTURE. If you're an older sibling, older uncle, auntie, get out there with your niece. Get out there with your nephew. Hey, let's go driving. Take my car. I'll show you how to put gas in. We have to teach them as a community how to see the driving environment. That's an important responsibility, and it comes with time. And our young people are running out of time. TIME. Approximately 41% of young drivers are involved in fatal crashes every year. It varies from state to state to state, from province to province, from community to community, from city to cities. Some are more, M-O-R-E, some are less, L-E-S-S. I take it personal when I look on social media and I see our youngest, most valuable resource, our teens who are dying. The number one way that those young people die is in an automotive crash. Approximately 20,000, or 1 in every 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, will be in a crash. 16 and 17-year-olds are involved in serious crashes each year. I'm just hitting the tip, T-I-P, of the iceberg. It takes a community to raise a child, to be socially responsible, to learn how to drive. And it's not an American thing. It's not a UK thing. It's not a Middle Eastern thing. It's a global thing. I want all of you to know this because I take the time to read the comments and I reply back to the comments because I care. Identify and explain possible errors in inexperience. Some states have 5 hours of driving behind the wheel. I'm a state certified instructor. It's up to you, mom and dad, to teach your son and your daughter how to drive, how to make a lane change, how to check their blind spot, how to be a defensive driver, how not to ride in a wolf, W-O-L-F, pack, P-A-C-K. This is where a bunch of cars are driving in front, going really fast, and you tailgate. And someone pulls out, an animal comes out, a tire blows up, pow! And all of a sudden they hit brakes. It's up to us, me included, to teach our young next generation drivers how to drive. Mom and dad, you can't just sit back and say, here are the keys, you're good. They don't have the experience yet. And it really takes time. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. That's really important. Next, how far-reaching is the impact of young drivers who are killed every year? There are hundreds, if not thousands of drivers killed every year. One of the main reasons, they're not wearing their seatbelt. When you first get into the car, you come in, you lock the door, click, and you put the seatbelt on. If I don't see that, you will fail. Put on your seatbelt. Build those mental habits because we are losing our young people. They're being ejected, thrown out of the car. Next, what about the impact of drivers and passengers who survive a fatal crash? You're going to have that horrible memory, that imagery of someone dying at the scene of an accident that could have been prevented because they were distracted. They were on the phone. They were eating. They weren't paying attention. And heaven forbid, they didn't have on their seatbelt. Other reasons for young driver errors: lack of attention to driving. You need to keep space. That's the biggest thing I see as a state certified instructor. You need to look over your shoulder. That's my blind spot to my left. You need to look over your shoulder to the right. That's my blind spot to my right. Drivers don't do that. Next, not using a blinker. This not only dangerous, it's illegal. Next, failure to recognize hazardous conditions is the underlying error for more crashes. You don't recognize when you're in danger. If you've taken the time to see my content, when I go live, my shorts, my longer videos, I give you traffic situations. I teach you, keep space. Take your time. Look ahead. Back off. They didn't use their blinker. Get out of the truck's blind spot. It's a free-for-all. F-R-E-E-A-L-L. That free-for-all can cause death, That free-for-all can cause accidents. That free-for-all can kill our next generation drivers. We have to teach them. Approximately 127 16 and 17-year-olds are involved in a fatal crash as a driver, a passenger, or a pedestrian. I've talked to you about pedestrians. They always have the right of way. If there's no sidewalk, a pedestrian is required to walk against traffic. You never should turn your back to traffic. If you are riding a bike, you're supposed to ride with the flow of the traffic, never against it. Many amateur drivers or rookie drivers on bikes are traveling at 20 or 25 miles an hour. Amateur professionals or professional, they're doing upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. If you care about your brain, wear a helmet as a bike rider. If you care about your life, have the proper reflectors and lights on your bike. Drivers, you have a responsibility too. I call this the right, R-I-G-H-T, hook, H-O-O-K. As I'm driving down the road, there's a bike in my blind spot. I make a right turn. I don't look and scan the area to my right and look over. I've just hit a bicyclist, meaning I've turned right, and by the time I turn, I've just hit someone. I don't want to do that. I ride a bike too. You have a responsibility. Also, bicycle riders, you need to look. Make eye contact. Does this driver see me? Is the intersection clear? Is someone giving eye contact? Look at drivers. D-R-I-V-H-E. Driver. D-R-I-V-E-R-S. Look at drivers. Make eye contact with them. Don't assume, oh, I can just go through the intersection. You will get hit and killed. Right hook. Drivers making left turns. I merged into the middle turn lane. I'm up. I'm looking at oncoming traffic. By the way, young drivers don't know where to look. They're looking to the right. They're looking in their mirror. You have to look at oncoming traffic going away from you. When there's a gap, G-A-P, you have to look. I'm making this left turn. Again, you have to look. Roadway, sidewalk, crosswalk, over your shoulder. If you turn, it's called a left cross. C-R-O-S-S. This is where you hit and kill a person on a bike. You hit and kill a pedestrian. It's so important that we reemphasize this and we teach this at the driver's education level, at the adult driving level, and all the states around the country, all the municipalities around the country, all the provinces around the world. You have to mention this to people. We are killing so many people for such careless reasons. Look at that intersection. Don't assume, oh, I got a green light, but you don't see the little kid walking with the dog, or you don't see the family riding bikes. Failure to recognize hazards at intersections is one of the most important things I see as an instructor. And if you're taking the time to watch this, it's important to you, and it's important to me. As teen drivers increase, the fatality level increases because teens don't have enough experience. We could blame the state. They need to have more hours behind the wheel. We've increased those hours. There's a disconnect between my level, teaching level 1, level 2, road test prep, and you, the general public. We have to give our teens more driving. Hi, how are you? Good. We have to give our teens more driving. We have to communicate and help them. So when they are self-assured, when we can support, S-U-P-P-O-R-T, we have to support our teens. We need to support our young beginning drivers. 10 years. It takes 10 years of experience. In the first couple of years, you don't know anything. You haven't left the country. You haven't went to Canada. You haven't went to Montreal. You haven't went to Mexico. You have to drive in different locations. Next, approximately 127 16 and 17-year-olds are involved in fatal crashes as a driver, passenger, or pedestrian each year. We're losing our young people. And if we follow the population pyramid, those young people will slowly go up the pyramid. They have to hit 21. If we can get our young people to reach age 21, they're going to be in that first level. But they die. And then we have the next generation that is older. Serious injuries defined as fatality, someone has died. Injury, I broken my leg, I broken my arm, I have a concussion. Possible injury, or more than $1,000 in damage. When do crashes occur for young drivers? This is extremely important. If this is giving you value, give it a thumbs up. Approximately 52% of all young driver fatal car crashes occur in daylight. You would think it's at night. It's in daylight. Young drivers are running lights. They're not using blinkers. They have poor observation skills. They're speeding. They're out for lunch. I got 20 minutes. I'm going to go real fast and go get a coffee. But you have to run 2 yellow lights. And an elderly lady is walking across the street, and you hit her and strike her, and she's dead. The most dangerous time for young drivers to drive is between 2 TWO and 5 FIVE. Between 2 and 5, we can expect to have fatalities. We can expect to have accidents. You're saying, why? Because we have young, inexperienced drivers out. Approximately 37% of young driver fatal car crashes occur on Friday and Saturday. I don't drive on Fridays. That's my off day. I'm preparing for the next lesson. The months of May, June, and July account for the largest number of fatal car crashes, 1/3. We're losing our young people. We have to teach them. Why is after our school time period the most dangerous for young drivers? How can you reduce the risk? Leave later in the day. Reduce the number of friends you have in the car. Wait till the parking lot clears. These are some real practical solutions you can do to prepare you for that opportunity to get out there. You could be doing everything right. I could be leaving the lab, going to go pick up lunch for everyone in the laboratory, and as a result, a young driver runs the light and hits me. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's no such thing as luck or bad luck. Approximately 24% of all young driver fatal car crashes occur on dark, unlit roads. I was driving a young driver yesterday. They were all over the road. They didn't learn night driving yet. You can't be scared of night driving. You have to punch fear in the face. You have to be able to reach out and push your boundaries. Make sure your windshield is clean. Make sure your headlights are clean. Make sure your car is a little bit on the cool side. If it's too warm, you're going to fall asleep. Trust me. Approximately 19% of young driver fatal car crashes occur between 9 p.m. and midnight. As a result, many states around North America and around the world don't allow teen drivers to drive after 9 p.m. In the UK, you got to be 21 or 22. Don't attack North American driver's ed organization saying, oh, you guys are this or you guys are that. Every group of drivers and instructors adapts to their environment. If I was in the UK, I'm quite sure I would be a very good driving instructor. I know how to drive a manual. I know how to turn hand to hand. So every opportunity is different. You don't stay in the transportation industry if you're not passionate about driver's education. You don't care about people. I care about people. I care about you because I want you, YOU, to reach REACH, your goals of becoming a safe driver. And it takes work and it takes progress to become a safe driver. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. I have a podcast. It's called Driving with Myles. It's on Spotify. I would appreciate it. And as you listen to it, give me some feedback. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And I will come on this afternoon. Bye.